Okay, there we go. I think we are live now. Let's double check and make sure. Okay, here you can see my face now. Hey everyone, it's Amy coming at you live from Yokohama. All right, how is everyone today? It is so humid today and rainy. So I was watching the news earlier on TV, and they said something about the rainy season hasn't been declared yet as starting, but it's basically the rainy season now. So, oh, rainy season. I don't like you very much. Well, it's okay. I do like the hydrangeas that come out in June. So I've seen them starting to kind of pop up in flower shops now. So I don't know, maybe they're gonna come a little bit earlier than normal. I'm not sure. Hey Kanchan, hello, how are you? All right, so yeah, so Kanyam. Kanyam. So yes, I'm really looking forward to, wait, is it going to be next week's podcast? Yes. I should be having a keyboard arrive from the US. So that it should be arriving on Thursday. So normally when I'm typing, I have to type on my, I have a Microsoft Surface Pro, and on it, it's really a strong computer, but I have to type and I have to bring my hands up very, very high. So I'm hoping that with the new keyboard, I'll be able to keep it low here where, you can't really see it, but I'm hoping that it won't be super loud, because if it's too loud, well, it's not really good for broadcasting, but I'm really hoping that it'll be nice. Anyways, I bought one from the US, and the reason for that is that for people who know me, you know that I was a secretary for 7 years. I've been typing since I was 16 years old, even a little bit before that. So I've been typing in some form or another for over 30 years. Wow. So I don't mind a Japanese keyboard, but I have my own particular way of typing. So I don't type, I think Japanese people call it touch typing. I think we might call it touch typing in the US as well, but I don't use home row. So like, oh, you're just moving your fingers. It hurts my wrists. And when I was in college, I tried to, because in my high school years, I on my mom's typewriter, I taught myself how to type, not in the home row way, but just I taught myself how to do it quickly. And that style is still with me. So when I was in college, I thought, well, I wonder if I can improve my speed even more, become a better typer if I take this kind of class. So I took a keyboarding class at my junior college, and there it was really interesting. I was following with the instructions because, they had a lot of people in the class who couldn't type at all. They were just like, duh, right? So we call this hunt and peck, because it's like a bird pecking, right? So you're hunting for the right key, and then pecking it like a chicken. So I'll put that in the chat here. So hunt and peck. Yeah, so hunt and peck typing. Yeah, so a lot of people were doing like that. But I was able to do it my own way, but I wanted to try to learn the proper way to type. So I was in this class, and about maybe halfway through the class, I think it was a 10-week class, so about halfway through, both of my wrists started hurting a lot. And I said, oh no, because there's if you type too much and you get a kind of a repetitive stress injury, so because you're doing the same thing many times, so when you're just doing like this and you have your hands in the position and everything, so it started to give me kind of this carpal tunnel syndrome. I could feel it in my wrists, and I said, oh, that's not good. So what I did, actually, I don't think I've ever told this to anybody. It's not like a big deal, but I don't think I've ever told this to anyone. I finished that class typing my own way because, I was just taking the class for fun and to try to improve my skill. And I learned that my way was best for me. I can't say that it's great for anybody else in the world, but for me, it seems to work out really well. So I finished the class with my own typing style, and my typing speed is not bad at all, and my accuracy is pretty good. But using this kind of smaller keyboard that comes with it doesn't come with it, it's extra, but to have this kind of keyboard, I think it's a little bit compact, so it's a little smaller than a regular sized keyboard. And basically my method is, so this is my left hand, and I have usually this is space and kind of around X and A, and then shift. And what I do is then the right hand kind of floats around, and the left hand can kind of reach some, the E and the R, those kind of common letters like we talked about last week. So those can reach those common letters quickly, and then the right hand just kind of floats around. It's the way I've not always typed, but for most of my typing life, yes, that's the way I type. So yeah, again, I can't say that it would work for anyone else in the world, but it seems to work for me. So that's the way I type. I don't type regularly or normally, but it's pretty quick. As you can tell, like when I'm typing, it's quick. It's quick. Yeah, the keystrokes are fast. So again, I don't mind a Japanese keyboard, but some of the keys, especially like apostrophe, on the Japanese keyboard, it's in a much different place. So it makes it so I have to stop and think about typing, so rather than just do it. So that's the reason I decided to buy a keyboard. I bought a keyboard mouse combination. I'm really looking forward to receiving it. I feel so old when I say this kind of thing. Like, I'm excited about a keyboard. Who cares? It's a keyboard. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to type a lot. I've been working on a bunch of different materials, and yeah, just it's been busy. So I'm hoping to improve my productivity with this new keyboard and mouse combination. So I have this mouse that I've had this thing for years, and it works really well. It's a Hewlett-Packard mouse. I remembered where I got this mouse. This mouse was 4 computers ago. 4 computers? Maybe 5. Oh my god, this is a really old mouse. And it works pretty well, but sometimes there's a little bit of lag. So lag, lag. For example, this broadcast has a 5-second lag. So when I say something, 5 seconds, it gets to you. So yeah, it's kind of a gap in time. So yeah, so this mouse, maybe it's finally dying, I don't know, but I've used this mouse for a very long time. But as you can see, it's pretty small. Like, my hand's not so big, but it's pretty small. Oh, here we go. It's pretty small in my hand, so I could definitely use a bigger, like, not a huge mouse, because, you know, I still do have, you know, female hands. But yeah, it's been pretty darn good. I've used it for many years, off and on. I realized that this mouse came with a computer that I don't even have anymore at all. I bought a Hewlett-Packard laptop computer from Costco many years ago. When did I even buy that thing? I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. But yeah, so I've still, and it came bundled, so it was kind of a combo or a set with a mouse. So it came with the mouse and a case or a backpack. I think it came with a backpack. This was in my secretary days? So long ago. Wow. Yeah, so it's been like four, maybe 5 computers ago. It's a long time. But yes, so I'm getting the new keyboard and mouse combo. It's coming next Thursday, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, so I'm hoping I can test it out with you guys next week and show you. I won't show you the computer, or I won't show you the keyboard, because just Google US keyboard. You can see how it's different. So my Microsoft Surface keyboard is also American. So the computer itself I bought in Japan, but then the keyboard I bought it. Where did I buy it? I think I bought it on one of my trips to the US. So I think I picked it up when, I believe so. I believe that's what happened. I could be wrong. I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, so American keyboard really works super well for me in terms of being able to type quickly and accurately. And yeah, I don't have a lot of time to waste in terms of anything really. So yeah, I don't have too many things to talk about today because I'm just really okay. How do we call? We have at least one person here, so let's see if we can find out for it's like not what is it like? Hang on, I have to look up the Japanese tech or this real quick. Oh, really? Oh, it's not even in my dictionary. It's not Yutsu, but it is kind of like Yutsu in the spring, right? So I forget somebody said this, and I don't remember what the phrase is, but in English we call it spring fever. Spring fever. So I'll put it in the chat. So spring fever is just kind of the temperature is changing rapidly, and it just really affects kind of your mood and also your kind of motivation. So I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything. And so yesterday and today were so humid. And I'm finding that for my asthma, because I've only had asthma since 2018, So it's still pretty new for me to have this. I'm noticing that on days where it's very humid, it kills my asthma. So it's super easy to just get out of breath and just like kind of gasping. If I stop moving, it's okay. But until then, it's like, yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. So yeah, so I'm kind of like gasping for breath so much, and then, yeah, it's not fun. But anyways, so yeah, so because of spring fever, I kind of don't have many things to talk about today. Except for the humidity. So humid. Yeah, so Kazumi said maybe melancholia or melancholy. It is, but this is the specific spring melancholy. So melancholy because of spring, because of the changes in temperature, and and maybe the humidity, I'm not sure. But it's the up and down temperatures, up and down. So I think it's not Sankanshion. It's not that, because that's too close to winter. Now it's definitely not winter. It's kind of spring starting and, kind of thinking about summer now. But yeah, so, but we have this in summer too, don't we? Yeah, maybe it's just me. But yeah, so, yeah, it's kind of been messing with my motivation. I've been getting some things done, but yeah, it's a little bit difficult sometimes. So, and yeah, you can hear kind of, my nose is a little stuffy. I'm not sick, but I feel like maybe a little bit of spring allergies too, because of the rain. So yeah, I did a lot of walking today, which was good. I was very proud of myself. I did a lot of walking between the raindrops. But yeah, so the rainy season is coming, and then summer. So basically my sweat season has started. Yeah, today both my husband and I, we felt very, very moist. So we felt very kind of damp. Our whole body is just kind of just a little bit wet. Ugh, I feel like a frog. Right? Oh yeah, maybe a frog would be very happy in this weather, but not me. I don't like sweating, but I have my good friends, the Handy Fan. Woo! Yes, I have two of them. And if I know I'm going to be out somewhere, I bring both of them just in case. Although I could use my battery to charge them up, but I don't really do that. I generally just, I don't want to mess with it, so I just throw the used up one in my bag, take the other one out. And of course everybody laughs. It's very funny to everybody. I'm like, I'm sweating to death. But of course, my other best friend, my water bottle. So you gotta stay hydrated. Make sure to stay hydrated. Even though it's very wet, I feel like our bodies are still kind of getting used to this not climate change, because climate is normal, but just the weather change, the changes in the weather. It's really tough. But yeah, fortunately I don't do too many lessons outside now. Tomorrow I'm going to Minato Mirai, and I'll be teaching a class there. I need to get some information, so you guys, if you're interested, it's actually I think it's a pretty inexpensive course. There's pre-intermediate and intermediate. I don't know what the requirements are, but I want to get some information for you guys, because we do have some seats that are open right now. So if it's kind of twice a month on Saturdays, Saturday mornings, and yeah, come see me. I'm teaching. But yeah, so it's pretty fun. It'll be the third time tomorrow that I'm teaching them, these two groups. So we have intermediate is first at 10 o'clock, and then the pre-intermediate class. So yeah, it's pretty good. The textbook's pretty good too. It's British, so it's very different from, well, I don't want to say very different, but there are definitely things that I don't use in terms of American English. There are some differences, but I saw this really cool thing, this really cool chart in the back of the book that explains the British education system. I had no idea. So I knew that it was different to the US education system and of course Japan's, but I was never really sure what ages go where and what the names were. So I'm always interested in that kind of thing, education in different countries. So yeah, I think it's just interesting. I'm reading a book, kind of. I'm listening to a book. So it's Haruki Murakami's 1Q84. So I'm listening to that as an audiobook. I just finished today book 1, so it was like 15 hours of listening, but it was pretty nice. I'm thinking about once this one is over, honestly, you know what, it helps me. I listen to a lot of business books as well because I'm a business person and this is my business. But sometimes when I'm on the train coming back home to the office, I'm like on the train, it's so nice, and I stop listening and I just fall asleep on the train. So I thought, hey, I should pick up a novel. And I know that Murakami is pretty popular, but yeah, so I decided to pick that one up. I got it on the Audible store for like 1 credit, and it's like hours and hours and hours of story. So I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. This is my first Murakami book, and it's interesting. So I went into it not knowing anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but basically, I can tell this without giving anything away, is that this is, at least book 1, was about 2 separate people and their completely different lives. And then in very, very small ways, because you're like, why are you telling me these 2 stories? Are they going to intertwine? They do very, very subtly. So there's kind of these little strings that kind of come and kind of bind them together. And that's all I'm going to say. If you want to talk to me about 1Q84, please do. I finished book 1 and I would love to talk with somebody about it. So yes, it was very interesting. Very interesting. I've never quite, I can't say that I haven't read many novels as an adult, because that's not true, especially just as I turned an adult. Oh my god, I can speak English. Of course, the year of adulthood, or the age of can't speak. The age of adulthood in the US is 18. And at 18, I got my first security officer job, and it was an overnight shift. Basically, all you have to do is walk around once an hour, write down the same thing, the same line. It's like, nope, everything's okay. This time, everything's okay. Next time, everything's okay. And then the main function of a security officer or security guard, it doesn't matter, is to be a visual deterrent. And I'll put this in the chat. So a visual deterrent, is if a robber, right, if somebody who wants to come and steal from whatever company you're guarding, if they want to come and steal, whatever, it doesn't matter. If they want to come and steal, if nobody's there, let's go steal. But even if there's one person there, maybe we'll go to the next one. They don't have anyone there. So just being an awake person who can see them is many times enough to make them not rob. So that's the main function of a security guard. And so of course, as the guard, if you're sleeping, it's like not having a guard there. So it's very critical to not sleep. Don't sleep. You could do anything you want, don't sleep. Yeah. So yeah, I had some very interesting posts, but when I always did overnight. Always overnight. I'm very much a night owl anyways. You guys know this. I'm not an early bird. I'll be up with the early birds, but that's because I haven't slept yet. So some people who want to wake up at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, I'm like, oh hey, what's up? I'm still awake. So yeah, but that's basically how I work. And then that's how I put myself through college, is I would work overnight, and then in the morning I would go to school. I would go to college, and the pay was a little bit above minimum wage. So minimum wage is the lowest you can earn, but because it's a trust position, you earn a little bit more. So basically it's better than like fast food or something. But also fast food, you can't study. So studying was very important. But that very first security job that I had was the summer between high school and college. And I needed a car. So I decided on my 18th birthday, I got a job on my birthday. That's kind of the person that I am. It's just like, okay, now I can get it. Give it to me. Let's go. Yeah, so I got a job on my 18th birthday. And so I saved up money and bought my second car. I gave my first car a very cruel fate. I'm sorry to my first car. But so I read a lot of novels when I was working security when I was 18 during that summer. And because they helped keep me awake. You know, if you're reading something, it's, very, you're focused on it. So, you're transported into this world. And the post itself was, if anything on the street were to happen, you would see it, because that street was totally dead. It was in downtown San Jose, and it was for a food truck company. So, the trucks the big trucks where they have the food. Yeah, that's what I guarded. I guarded a yard of those kind of trucks. So, because there's a lot of, so what do you think people would want to steal? They'd want to steal some of the merchandise. So you have lots of sodas, probably kind of younger kids would like to, I'm just gonna go steal a bunch of Coke, right? It doesn't matter, it's just kids. But having the visual deterrent there, we're not gonna go there, so yeah. And then in the morning, all the people would come in, fill up their trucks with ice, lots of ice, to keep the cold things cold, and then drive off and go serve people all around. Yeah. But yeah, I read a lot of novels. I read a lot of Clive Barker and Dean Koontz. So I'll put those on the chat. Clive Barker and Dean Koontz. So these are the two that, I don't know, I just found the writing kind of interesting. So, but yeah, they were just novels, and read a story, whatever, listen to some music, do my little once an hour check, and that was it. Very easy work. Low paying, but yeah, I mean, how much do you want? You're just staying awake all night. Doesn't matter. But yeah, it was very not busy. So when I was wow, that memory just hit me. I remember when I was in college, I listened to, this was, I was already interested in Japan, and I wanted to listen to Japanese radio. Anything I could just listen to Japanese. I really wanted to. And there was one thing, and the internet wasn't so big at the time. This was maybe 1998. So the internet was, it was around and it was growing, but it wasn't the, you could listen to anything in the world now. But at that time, it was very difficult to get my hands on anything Japanese. So I really wanted to listen to radio, Japanese radio. Didn't matter if it was words or if it was music. I was interested in both. And oh man, I was able to listen to it was All Night Nippon. I remember, and there was like I couldn't speak Japanese hardly at all, but I was just kind of tuning my ear to listen to Japanese at that time. And I still remember it was some sort of gag or something, but somebody would be reading some news story maybe, right? And then they would interrupt that person and say like, I don't know what they said, but it sounded like ashita ba. I don't know. So they were like, ashita ba. It's like, and then the next person would have to read the next story, and they would try to read it really quickly so that they wouldn't get interrupted. If anyone remembers about that, please tell me, because I would love to make that connection after all these years. So yeah, I want to know what they said. Was it ashita ba or ashita wa? I don't know. But if you know the gag, please tell me, because that was one of the great things. I was so happy, I remember, when I found it, and when I successfully started to be able to listen to it. Oh, it was amazing. It was a very, very amazing time. I'm like, I can listen to real Japanese. Because I already knew that, animation, anime and dramas, they're good to a point, but it's not real language. But if you have this like radio program where it's talking, you're gonna catch more nuance, and you're gonna catch more reactions. So if you're thinking about doing this for English, I highly recommend it. Find some podcast. It does not matter if you understand any of it. It doesn't matter. Train your ear to listen for the rhythm, the speed, the intonation. This is why I can, my Japanese still isn't good, but intonation and pronunciation are pretty okay. I can do it pretty well. I've heard much worse Japanese accents continually. But yeah, but I'm always trying to have, for me, if I don't have good Japanese pronunciation, how can I expect Japanese people to have good English pronunciation? And some of the tools that I've used to learn different Japanese pronunciations, for example, darirurero, hu, and tsu, these are sounds that are not in English. So it's really critical to learn how to make new shapes with your mouth. And as an adult, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. But it is possible because, you know, darirurero, no problem. This is, I learned this when I was in my early 20s, how to do it. But when I first was trying to pronounce these sounds, I didn't know where to put my tongue. I didn't know where to put anything. So it was like that. And I had to learn it by ear. So I just kept trying different things, kind of like a child does. I just kept trying different things until it sounded right. Yeah. So let's see. I'm just gonna try lower thirds and see if it works. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's broken forever. That's fine. Script log, okay, God. Okay, all right. Yes. Novels, finished book 2, or finished book 1. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I thought that 1Q84 was 3 books, but I feel like I'm halfway through. So the first book was about 15 hours of speaking. Yeah, so I don't know, because I think the full thing is like 34 hours. So I don't know if there's going to be 2 books or 3 books. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for me for today. Sorry we didn't talk about so much English. I've been pretty busy, so, which is good, but sorry. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Okay? Thanks. Bye. I did it again. I started here. Kazumi says 3 books. Okay, cool. Yes. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to stop. Okay. Ready? Oh, Kanchan says, see you. Bye. Love you guys. All right. Okay. Thanks.